All right, guys, so here I have over 50 renewal forms that I'm going to be sending out this week to get me organized for the 2025 lawn care season. And I've done this for 3 or 4 seasons now. And I'm going to explain to you how this helps me get organized and helped me last year make over $130,000. And these forms helped me schedule the majority of that final season number before the season even started. Hey guys, what's going on? It's Robert here with Optimal Lawn Maintenance out of Southeast Wisconsin. Today I'm going through my 2025 renewal forms that I'm sending out to last year's clients, along with rate increases and the list of offerings with my 2025 service agreement. So I thought it'd be a good time to show you guys a video of how I secure 6 figures of business as a solo operator well before the season even starts. So what I primarily do is, as you can see the stack of envelopes here, I have 52 of them. That is the number of clients that I'm sending out renewal offerings to at the end of this month or the beginning of February. What I typically will do is at the end of the year, over the winter, I will evaluate my time on site, the price that I'm getting for a cut at that property or each individual property each week, and determine which ones I want to keep, which ones I want to renew. There's always a few at the bottom that either are not getting the right price per minute, if you will, or getting you the value that you should have for being on the property for the amount of time that you are, or are a hassle to cut. The lawn didn't shape out to be what you thought it was when you gave the initial bid and got that accepted. I'm not a big fan of dropping people in the middle of the season, so I've gotten decent about my estimating, but sometimes you just underestimate. And at the end of the season, I get rid of those clients and make room for new ones. So I thought I'd just go through, before I go to the post office and drop all these off, what exactly I send out and what's in the envelope and what my clients receive. So what I do is get all this taken care of as far as the numbers and evaluating goes by January. And then come January 30th, 31st, I send these envelopes out to everybody so that they're arriving at their house and able to be reviewed in the first week of February. I send an email out letting people know that I have sent this packet out to them and to check their mailbox for it, and ask them to return it by the end of February. So the timeline looks like this. December, January, I'm going over my numbers, I'm evaluating the lawns, determining which ones I want to keep, which ones I want to get rid of. Then by the end of January, I have these forms filled out and ready to be dropped off at the post office. I send them, or I tell people that they've been sent and that they should be arriving the first week of February. I request that they fill out the form and send them back to me as soon as possible, but no later than the end of February, which gives me all of March to put my routes together, determine what, if any, advertising I need to do to gain additional clients, or where I want to focus for gaining additional clients. And we can hit the ground running in April with knowing that spring cleanups, mulch, shrub trimming, and then eventually weekly mowing is all predetermined and pre-scheduled and ready to go. So this is what the customer receives. This is an actual one, so I've got the client's information blocked out on it. But this one's sealed, ready to go. So I'll throw that back over here, but this is what it looks like I send out. I paid a few bucks on Vistaprint to get these nice return labels put on here. I think they make the envelope look a little more professional. And then my clients know immediately who this piece of mail is coming from. It's not a piece of junk mail that they're just going to discard. They know what it is. Inside, the way I set up the packet is that everything's tucked into a pre-addressed return and pre-stamped return label that comes back to me that the client can put their information in. What the client receives is the service agreement form for this particular season, a welcome letter, and I'll show you guys all these letters up close if you want to screenshot them, take a look, but it's a welcome letter for the upcoming season. And then this year, I'm doing a price increase on about 95% of my properties. So this is just a rate increase letter explaining that there's a rate increase, why there's a rate increase, and just getting the client comfortable with understanding why we as business owners need to increase our prices. So when they open up this envelope, they receive these 3 pieces of paper and the envelope that they can send back. It's pre-addressed, it's pre-stamped. There's no reason that people can't take care of this form and then get it back to me in a reasonable amount of time. I have tried to do this form electronically. I'm still working on a PDF form that is easily accessible both on mobile and on the desktop computers or laptops. And I've tried it the last 2 years and people just seem to struggle with it. So this works best. Gets the paper in their hands, gives them something to do, and the email that I blast out in the beginning of February, the end of January, let them know that this is coming in the beginning of February, is my electronic reminder. And then mid-February, I'll send out a reminder to anybody that has not returned these yet. Hey, you've got 2 more weeks to get these back. And come March 1st, I'm opening it up to new clients. It's just my 2025 service agreement. I got this form from LawnTrepreneurAcademy.com, Brian Fullerton out of Michigan. It's a free form that's on his website. It has worked great for me for getting my stuff organized and getting ready for the season. I've customized it to myself. That's the nice thing about this document, is that it was free, but it was also a Word document that you could customize and make your own. So what it says is basically, it's not a contract, a bill, or an invoice, because I don't do any mowing contracts. I do have these agreements, and what that allows me to do is drop a client if I need to in the middle of the season, and same for the client. If they're not happy with my service, they're able to let me go. I have yet to have that happen, but I like to give that as a selling point to customers to take me on when they're new clients. So just go through the list real quick. These are my most popular services and what I offer to people. I do other things outside of these, but this just keeps it short and to the point. You got your weekly lawn maintenance. I put the price on there plus tax. Spring cleanup, fall cleanup, dethatching, spring and fall aeration, mulch installation, leaf cleanup, and then this year I'm adding a bagged fall mowing, which I think is going to be a nice upsell. I'm going to be able to bag leaves as we go throughout the fall season instead of just during fall cleanup. And we got shrub pruning or trimming and gutter cleaning, which are both really nice upsells if you're already on a property. And then I just have a few notes. So this is where some contract type language comes in, but it's still not a contract. This is just basically setting the ground rules for the upcoming season. Talks about the service schedule. We run 26 to 29 weeks here in Southeast Wisconsin, generally from late April into Halloween or the first week or 2 of November. Basically says that you will be serviced on the same day throughout the week, throughout the season, I should say, unless rain or scheduling pushes that one way or another. It addresses skips. I haven't had a ton of issues with skips, but it does tell the client that if they request a skip and I have not made that decision myself, whether it's because of a drought or a scheduling issue, that if they request a skip, they're still billed and invoiced at the normal weekly rate, even if they don't receive the service. This keeps the bi-weekly ghosts, if you will, the people that sign up for weekly service and then decide they don't want weekly service anymore, or they were trying to get around weekly service. It also helps me maintain my schedule and know exactly what kind of revenue I should be bringing in and where each day of the week is going to be set up as far as the mowing route goes. It talks about the season duration, which I already talked about, and then it talks about invoicing, which I require a card on file. I bill at the end of the month with a card on file, and this helps me just get rid of the checks in the mail issue, and I'm able to hit the end of the month and bill everybody, have that cash flow moving, and get paid for what I've done. Lastly, I have a cleaning fee that I charge people for pets if they don't clean up, dog poop. No one wants that on their mower. It's a $75 cleaning and disinfection fee. I don't really have issues with that, besides a property or two every year that I end up dropping and charging the fee for. But this is just kind of, hey, make sure your lawn is cleaned up. And then I leave a space for notes or comments if people want to let me know something, or if they, I'll have people put dates on here that maybe they'll be gone, or that there's going to be other contractors on site. This is a nice place for that. So the next form that's in here is basically just a letter that lets people know, thank you for your business last year. I look forward to taking care of your property again this year. It explains what the service agreement form is, lets people know how to handle the service agreement form. I give people the option, if I don't have a service on here or a service on the agreement form, that I may do that service anyway, but to just let me know. Explain that this lets me get organized, and then I explain how they can return it to me with a pre-addressed envelope with postage that's already on it. I always actively seek reviews on my invoices, on most of my communications with people, as well as remind people that I'm always looking to take on neighboring properties. That's the best way to build route density. That's the way that I'm able to send over 50 of these out every season and work a 4-day work week solo and still make pretty good money doing what I do. The next thing is, it's always a little touchy for people, but it is necessary in business. It's the rate increase letter. I don't increase rates every year. I try to stick to every other season. I know some people like to increase their rates every single year, and some people don't like to increase them at all. But we've got a lot of inflation that we're dealing with, and things are more expensive. Equipment, fuel, insurance, especially the trucks that we pull our equipment trailers around with. This is just a notice that informs them that we're implementing minor price adjustments. It reminds them, for this year, an example, that we did not adjust rates in 24. We kept 2023 pricing, and that will be increasing for 2025. Remind them that we are dedicated to providing a high level of service with extremely high quality equipment, and that we strive to be always getting more educated, training, upgrading equipment, and making sure that we are there every single week without a breakdown, without any kind of excuse that you can't show up. And I just say your updated weekly service rates reflected on your included 2025 service agreement inquiry. So they can come back here and they can just look, and they'll see that I've already pre-printed with their rate, whatever their rate is on there. So like I said, I get these forms put together in January. It is a little tedious doing it by hand, but I think doing it by hand instead of blasting out, a general email or sending out a really generic flyer to people gives that small business touch, that personal touch that people like. I found that my clients really don't mind paying a little bit more for a service that they know is coming from a small business. So like I said, every January I get these together, take these 3 forms, just fold them up nice, get them nice and neat in the envelope, tuck everything together with pre-addressed, pre-stamped return envelope, and throw it in the envelope. I do it in a particular way so that the client, when they open it, they see exactly who it's coming from and what it is. As I mentioned before, I got this service agreement form from the LawntrepreneurAcademy.com from Brian Fullerton. It's been a great resource for me. It might not work for everybody. I know people like to do their own thing, but it is a really, really good starting point that you can use to help get your schedule organized going into spring. The spring rush can be really crazy, and I think that this form really can help you get organized. All right, I know this video is not equipment or trucks or snow plowing like we should be doing. It's January 30th, but I was in the middle of getting stuff ready for the upcoming season and thought that I would make a video to show you guys how I do it. And I hope that you guys got something out of this. If you did, if you liked the video, if you like my other videos, please feel free to subscribe to my channel, like the video, leave me a comment, let me know what you guys do getting ready to go into the season and how you get organized. Thanks, we'll see you next time.